I came in here last episode and said I wanted to strip away this mask. And that's not just a one-off thing, that's a process. And so when I realize that I've put the mask back on, I then again have to go, okay, let's take this off. And it gives me the way in to inquiry, like, why have I put this back on? What am I afraid of in this moment? What am I trying to hide? So this month I've been asking myself questions about what coziness means to me and how I get it, what it feels like. I've gone through a space of needing to reclaim it when I had it. And then also after doing that in a kind of external way, then having that same experience come closer to me and needing to work harder to reclaim that cozy internal space with my partner and like more intimate players in my life. So rather than strangers, you know, the lesson came closer with loved ones. I've been having a think about what to do with the art journaling this month in our cozy theme. I've been journaling and exploring the loss of my coziness, the inner sense of security and safety that I experienced a couple of days ago, and it connects with last month's journaling of being seen, like allowing myself to be seen, which is this whole kind of stripping away journey that I'm on. And I put my work more publicly up onto Patreon. I was so excited because I was getting engagement, and it's such a fledgling little community and there's practically nobody yet. And so it's really exciting for me to sort of have this connection. And anyway, the first interaction I had with this little quip that I put up was some bullshit, scammy, you know, NFT creep. And I was so discouraged. It just ripped away that whole internal sense of security, safety that I associate with coziness. And it took a few hours. And it took a little bit of my wife sort of, you know, giving me all of the support that she does and reminding me of all the things that I know logically but wasn't feeling in my body. And then eventually it felt heavy here. Heavy right here. Like my heart had just calcified, like gotten hard, like put all the armor back on. And then I had commented on another artist's work, answered a question that she was asking about black paper, because I'm loving black paper right now. And she's just sort of discovering it. And so I entered into the conversation she had opened about that. And so I was sitting on the sofa feeling just crushed. And she answered me. And I thought, okay, there are real people here. There are real conversations. There is real community. And I know that there's real community because I'm part of other communities that are full of beautiful people. But the negative voice in my mind, my ego voice was right in there straight away, convincing me that, well, these are the only people who want to talk to you because your work is so, it's just nothing. It's not worth anything more than that. And it was really hard. And anyway, and so as soon as I started talking with this other artist, this hardness around my heart just started to melt. It just... And the thing about feelings is you cannot fake feelings. You can't. You just can't. All of the chemical compositions that make up the emotions that your body feels in its senses are actual molecular structures in this physical system. But we can be aware of what's happening and stay with it. And I didn't run away. I started asking, what is it here that I am afraid of? And so I think, and I was journaling a little bit, and I think the answer is I'm afraid that they're right. The negative people, the negative voices. But is that really what I'm afraid of? That seems really kind of surface and not terribly interesting, actually. So I'm going to do some art journaling today, unraveling. Today I'm going to ponder this shadow that I have found more closely with this spread. Now I did the words for this little figure, this little watercolor figure, last Christmas Eve. And so we're almost at the year anniversary of this little piece of journaling. And so I encourage you to not feel like you have to finish everything. Finishing energy is a really specific kind of energy, and it's necessary. But it's not necessary to finish everything. You can leave things incomplete. You can leave the story open-ended. You don't have to force anything. You can wait for the answers to become clearer. You can wait for you to be ready to go deeper into the layers. You might feel like it's finished and then discover later that actually there's another layer that you want to go into, which is the case with this one. Now, this little piece of writing, I'll read it out. So you see how that sort of ties into what I'm shadow working today. This is a little bit of friction for me to lean into, a little bit of something for me to rub against to tease out and see what comes next. So, doesn't that feel better? I've taken away all of that mess, and well, that's quite lovely now, isn't it? And so what I've discovered ultimately is cosiness to me means safe space where I am nurtured, where I can be at ease, where I am comfortable. And maybe the biggest realization I've had is that there's a rule in here that says I have to earn the right to feel that. And I rarely do, if ever, really earn the right to feel that way. It doesn't feel like it's ever gone completely to the core of me where I can just exist and be okay with my own existence. Just all the really nice, juicy questions, of course. And so just looking at all of that really honestly and finding how it feels, putting words to it in the journaling and the stories I've told in the little videos that I've put up through the month of things I've realized as those moments have come to me. And sort of trying to carry this contemplation through all the activities I've done this month. We went to this amazing Christmas concert at the church in the next town over. This Baroque concert. I've never been to a live Baroque performance, and was so wonderful, and it had a recorder ensemble with a bass and an alto and a soprano recorder, and of course, you know, I'm a woodwind player from my preteen years. I played the alto saxophone from like when I was 8 years old through to when I was 15, and then recently, in the last 5 years or so, I've come back to the recorder, and so I have a soprano, an alto, and a tenor recorder. And the soprano recorder is the one that I'm most afraid of because its sound is really confronting to me. I can feel the trembling that I came out of my journaling session trilling up again as I talk about this recorder. And so one of the ways that I am, it might sound really weird, getting cozy with myself is allowing myself to play the recorder and make a sound out loud. I'm feeling quite teary as I talk about it, which means it's really important. And so anyway, seeing this performance, this amazing performance, inspired me to come home and pick up my recorders again. And so this year I would like to just have as a quiet little dedication that I'm, saying out loud to you, to commit myself to regular practice on my recorder and my recorders, but specifically my soprano one, because it's the one that I find most confronting. And we'll find out why that is, I suppose. I'll be able to articulate that more fully as we go on. But yes, so we went to this concert. It was beautiful. All of the lights that come out around this time of year, and all the houses that decorate, and it's just wonderful. We went shopping in the town on the other side of us, and we have to literally walk past a freaking castle, guys. A castle. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. We literally walk past it, past the front door. I could turn right and go into the front door, which I'll do one day for us, maybe when the weather's a little warmer. That might be a nice thing to do. But, we go shopping and buy the soap that we like at a specific store. That's the only reason we go in there for this soap, which is a little treat that my wife and I have recently started allowing us to have nice things. It's like there's a little step towards feeling worthy, I suppose, in there. And so again, there's this question of feeling worthy layered into this cozy contemplation that I've had, which I didn't expect, but makes sense. Because, I think that's probably threaded through almost every contemplation that I do. If it's a contemplation about feeling good inside myself, there's a question of self-worth in there that comes up. And so, yeah, we did that, and, you know, the castle walk. I mean, we took a walk in the forest for the first time in ages. We have to start doing that more regularly. I know that for the pixie, the green medicine is essential, and there's been much too little of that. And for me, I don't know. I enjoy it more so now that I'm more physically able. That's something I went into in the journaling prompts, actually, feeling more capable in my own body, feeling stronger since I started going to the gym. And that unlocking me in ways where, you know, we hold emotion in different parts of our body, literally in our cells. And so I'll do an exercise or hit a stiffness, and the muscle will release, and there'll be all this like this wave of emotion that comes up really powerfully, and it's kind of this, like, I get why people say it feels good to exercise and all of the good, and like the endorphins and stuff, because it's a rush. I feel it in my body, the fizzing and the shifting and the release. It's quite physical. So yeah, I talked about that. And what else? What else have we done? Well, I did the art, and that's been really, the art journaling went on for much longer than I had anticipated, had planned for. Like, it's way late, which is why this vlog is way late. It was like, I've called it the Lord of the Rings version of endings for this spread, because it ended, and then it ended again, and then it ended again. I kept trying to be okay with it for reasons like, oh, this is going on too long. Oh, this video is going to be much too long. No one's going to want to watch it. Like, who am I doing this for? Yes, I'm sharing it with you, but I'm doing it for me. I'm sharing my experience with you, and I need to really just be okay with that and trust you to consume it, or to witness it, or to, you know, be inspired by it. However you are, that's not in my control. What I am in control of is what I share. And I need to be more of a witness to my own stuff rather than being the producer of a thing. Like, I came in here last episode and said I wanted to strip away this mask, and that's not just a one-off thing, that's a process. And so when I realize that I've put the mask back on, I then again have to go, okay, let's take this off. And it gives me the way in to inquiry, like, why have I put this back on? What am I afraid of in this moment? What am I trying to hide from myself? So yeah, that's sort of, I'm going to have to watch this video back as well. What I said to you. But it's been interesting finding out, like, I think really the roundup of this contemplation is that I have to earn my right to be cozy. But I can see it now. And I can hold myself more gently and release a little more of that need to be in control of everything and to always have a contingency plan. Thinking about the closer spiral of healing that this need to be in control of everything brought up. So early in the month, I had to let go of how people see me. If I'm willing to be seen and put my art and my work out on Patreon to be seen, to bring a community of people together, hopefully, I have to allow myself to be seen, right? And in doing that, I have to trust that the right people will come. And occasionally there'll be bad faith players. And unfortunately, the first couple of interactions I had publicly were obviously creeps and scam artists. And there was only a couple, but it was enough to really throw me out of this lovely energy I had going on. And so I had to recapture that, reclaim this internal sense of safety and trust in myself. That's interesting. There we go. There's a breakthrough. I need to trust myself. That's where the sense of worth comes from. If I trust myself, that is innate. In that trust, feeling worthy. I can feel my whole jaw releasing. Okay, great. That's why I love making these videos, because I talk myself through to the other side of the blockage. This is healing for me. Thank you so much for being here and helping me do this. So there was that. And then I sort of stabilized again. And then I had the medical emergencies that came up with my wife. We had a dental emergency on Christmas Day. Thank you very much. Just a little video of our Christmas Day. And I was spun out of control again. And to the extent where I detached, because I couldn't control what was going on. I couldn't make the people I loved safe. It was not in my power to fix the situation. I just had to go along for the ride, really, and trust that other people could take care of themselves. And I really didn't. So there was this loss of control, total loss of that cozy space inside me. And so that's why I come to presence and trust. So that'll be something that I'll need to go into in future contemplations, trust. So maybe that'll be part of the next month's journaling. I feel like I need to go into that further. But yeah, so there was this lack of control. I sort of totally detached, and there was no cozy anymore. No cozy anymore. And so I've sort of felt myself coming back over the last couple of days, but I recognized it because I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel worried. I didn't feel glad that it was all taken care of. Like it was just, there was like a nothing feeling. And so I recognized that as I am not here anymore. I've gone somewhere else because I can't control the situation. And I don't feel safe because I can't formulate a plan. And it's all fantasy anyway. We're never really in control of anything. It's just imaginary control. What I need to do is learn how to trust myself and trust each moment that I'm inside of. Maybe that'll be the next thing I do.
Settle down, love. Don't be so restless. Only you come again.